Yai's Fukuchi Udon, Ito's Yakisoba Bread, Ayaka's Sakura Mochi. Genshin fans already know that for as many cute characters as there are, there's an equal amount of tasty looking food, but the game's cooking mechanics aren't my favorite, nor is cooking in general, which is why I was so hyped to find out that there's a Genshin Impact cafe happening right here in Tokyo. This cafe only opens for 1 month as part of a collaboration with Sweets Paradise, a dessert buffet chain. Reservations are required, and getting one was about as difficult as trying to ice bridge into Inazuma. Time slots released at midnight a month before the cafe even opened, and their overloaded reservation app kept crashing. But for a chance to taste Tevat's cuisine, it was worth it. So come with us to check out this year's Genshin Cafe. No reservations required. And if you weren't able to make it in person this time, there may be hope yet, but we'll discuss that more at the end of the video. Every time the Genshin Cafe opens up, there's a new menu based on a different region. This year is Inazuma, so all the collaboration dishes and drinks are based on Inazuma's characters. You've got some actual in-game dishes like Kazuha's All-Weather Beauty, which is just grilled fish, and Yai's Fukuchi Udon. But most of the offerings are more about fitting a character's vibe. Tomoe gets a cozy Odin hot pot, and Kujo Sara gets a traditional cup of green tea. And shout out to Sayu's special growth potion. It's a cute way to sell an otherwise slightly unappealing glass of vegetable juice. Each dish costs 700 yen, while drinks cost 500. Sounds like a good deal, right? Except you also have to pay for a buffet ticket, which adds an extra 1490 yen on top. I decided to only get 3 items, which made for some difficult decisions. But enough talk, let's go inside. Before we can eat, it's time for our first Genshin pull. The staff gives you a random coaster for each menu item you ordered, plus 1 placemat per person, so it pays to go with friends. Or just order a ton of menu items. All the coasters feature one of the cafe's exclusive character illustrations, so let's see who we got. First up, and it's the Traveler! Pretty cute, but come on, who means the Traveler anyway? Trying again. This time we pulled Kazuha, nice! And finally, Ayaka! We were super lucky because not only are they 2 of my faves, but they're also the 2 mascot characters of this year's cafe. The food arrived just in time to use our new table settings. First up, we got Kokomi's drink called Coral Pearl, based on the colors of her hair. It's a strawberry lactic acid drink with blue jelly at the bottom, and some whipped cream and silver pearl sprinkles on top. Unfortunately, looks are all this drink had going for it. It was way too sweet, but the jelly added a fun texture that boosts its score just a bit. I'd give this a 4 out of 10. Sorry, Kokomi. Next we have Yoimiya's dish called Fireworks in the Night Sky and Taiyaki. It seems like a fun play on Yoimiya's in-game dish, Festival Fish, with the ice cream and the fireworks sprinkles representing the festival, and the fish-shaped taiyaki for, you guessed it, the fish. Taiyaki is a popular Japanese sweet, and is usually made with a pancake-like batter and filled with red bean paste. This one replaces the typical batter with a crispy rice wafer shell, and is filled with red bean paste plus some fresh strawberries. The flavors are definitely not as explosive as I'd hoped for a Yoimiya-themed dish, with a rather bland outer shell on the quote-unquote taiyaki. But the acidity of the strawberries goes really well with the super sweet red bean paste, and if you put some of that melted vanilla ice cream on the fish, it tastes even better. So this one gets a 7 out of 10. Luckily we saved the best for last with Ayaka's signature dish, Snow on the Hearth. It looks exactly like her special dish, with the Kamisato clan's crest dusted on top, and a thin layer of Sakura Mochi on the outside. It's even sitting on a leaf just like in the game. It also comes with a pickled cherry blossom, which sounds nicer than it actually looks or tastes. The game never officially says what's inside the mochi, so I was really curious to find out. Turns out it's stuffed with layers of red bean paste, whipped cream, and strawberries. And it's so good. It has just the right level of sweetness and is somehow super fluffy, way lighter than the bean paste in Yoimiya's dish. And sometimes mochi can be tough, but this one is super soft, with just the right amount of chewiness. It looks like a pink pillow and feels like biting into a cloud, so this dish is definitely my favorite of the 3. Full 10 out of 10 for sure. Now that we're properly buzzed on sugar, it's time to raid the merch section. There are tons of cafe exclusive items here. Last year's cafe merch sold out on the first day, so it's awesome that they released some more of those items. And thankfully, this year they've got enough stock that we had plenty to browse through on the cafe's third day of being open. The cafe exclusive illustrations are available in a bunch of different forms, from stickers to pins to postcards. And the two mascots of the cafe get their own extra special merch, like these large acrylic stands. But it's not just characters that get special goods. Check out these slime plushies and Klee's Jumpty Dumpty. So cute. I had to hurry out before I went as broke as Mona, but I did manage to snag one of the acrylic character stands. Which means it's time for our final pull of the day, because, like all things Genshin, the stands have a gacha system too, so you don't know which character you're going to get until you unwrap it. There are 17 possible Inazuma characters to draw from, but if you want a whale, you can get the full set of all 17 for around $100. Do you think it's worth it? And I pulled Ayaka again! So not only was her dish the best, but she was the real MVP of the day. Unfortunately, this year's cafe reservations are already booked out, but if things continue as they have been, there should be a Sumeru-themed Genshin cafe happening next year. I hope they have Kolei's pita pockets! If you enjoyed this video, hit the like with your strongest burst and subscribe for more videos from Japan. Bye!